Hi everybody, this is Balsamic Moon Tarot, and I am here today with a reading on money and career. And I have chosen 3 stones here with 3 different colors, 3 crystals. This looks like it could be quartz. This looks like, I think this is jade. And I'm not sure about this one. It's kind of red with streaks of white inside. So if you want to take a look at these 3 colors, go ahead and pick your colors to choose your pile for today. We're going to be looking at money, career, and life and success and all the things, all the great things that we want to welcome into our lives, right? So those are the 3 choices. I'm now going to shuffle 3 oracle cards if you have an easier time choosing that way. What is the 3rd card? 3rd card. Okay, there we go. So today's piles: money and career and life and success. We have protection, emotions, and emptiness. These are the 3 cards. Feel free to take a moment, take a few deep breaths, and select the card or the stone that resonates with you the most today. Okay? I'll see you at your reading. Hello, Pile 1. This is your reading for today about money and career, life and success, advice, messages that can help you right now. You chose the protection card from the Modern Nirvana Oracle deck, as well as this white crystal, which looks to be quartz. Okay? So already I'm getting a sense of, wow, a lot of clear thinking available to you for sure. Definitely you were able to receive some guidance. If you've had trouble receiving guidance, if you've had trouble getting some clarity on an issue, I think this is going to change in a different direction where you are going to finally get some clarity and just be able to even kind of talk to yourself, like have a dialogue with yourself about what you need at this time, what your needs are, even what your boundaries are. Let me just pause one moment. Okay, yes, this card is really awesome. Here's the mantra for it. I am protected by forces of love and light, and in this protection I am able to discern what is actually mine and what isn't my fight. So, I'm getting already a sense of the need to kind of choose your battles and really prioritize your own mental health or your own well-being, your own sanity, your own peace of mind. And sometimes we need to just disengage from a conflict, whether that's an internal or an external conflict. We just need to disengage because we realize that there's my coffee machine beeping. So emphasis on this message. We need to disengage from a conflict because it's not about being right or wrong. There is no right or wrong, or it's like, is it really worth it to prove that you are right? You know, sometimes we just need to disengage because it's taking energy from our own well-being. And so that's the first message to you with this pile so far, pile number 1. I've already pre-shuffled some cards here, so I'm going to get into that, but I'm also trying something different where I'm going to shuffle cards from, I'm going to shuffle this deck and start with a tarot message from this really lovely deck. So not good with names. Let me just give you the correct name. Apparition, that's right. Beautiful deck called Apparition. What is the message with regards to money, career, life, success? We have the Hanged Man. Ace of Wands. And how about one more, please? Ace of Swords. Wow. Okay. You have a really great opportunity here to cut through some confusion. And, you know, it's the confusion of what it is you want. It's the confusion of what it is that you're really going after. What's your real goal here? What is it you hope to gain here? With the Hangman, I am picking up that in your money or career situation, there's just something that's been stagnating, there's something that's been stalling, and it's been making you feel quite drained, actually. So I do think the protection is definitely with regards to your own energy and the need to kind of preemptively cut off your energy from anyone or anything that is draining it. Let's take a look at this Hangman. There's a castle in the clouds here, so building castles in the clouds, right? Isn't that a saying? Or building castles in the sky? Something very idealistic, something that, you know, this boat is coming towards, kind of on a, I feel like this is a river of fantasy, but then this anchor is here that is threatening to really veer it off its course. So I already feel like with this Hangman, you know, you've been reaching for something, but there's been some stuck energy or obstacle. I feel like it's an unseen obstacle. It's something you just can't even quite figure out what it is, but something that has been, you know, making it feel like there's no progress, making it feel like no matter how much you keep trying or attempting, it's just kind of, you're still sort of stuck in your tracks here. So that is the situation I'm seeing for you. If that resonates, then, you know, this is your reading. But if not, like, it's always okay to drop out of the middle of a reading just to be like, you know what, this actually isn't my message. So that's something quite specific, right? If it's like, if you've been trucking at something that is like really not progressing, it's stalling, and, you know, again, you're feeling drained, this is the message for you. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords are now showing up as powerful supports for you, because this situation is threatening, you know, to exhaust your optimism and even to exhaust your own capacity for problem solving and clear thinking here. So again, it's very important for you to have some boundaries here and even appeal to your guides, you know, ask for guidance from your you know, from in the whatever way you do that, right? Ask for guidance and ask for clarity and ask for assistance in making decisions, because I think having a specific boundary is going to strengthen those boundaries. Being as specific as you can about what your boundaries are, even just by setting an intention to have those boundaries, is going to do wonders here. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords, you have a lot of fresh energy coming in. You're going to have a boost in energy to be able to keep going in, you know, in figuring out this problem that you have, to find the solution, even if the solution isn't for the ultimate end-all solution. It's still some kind of problem solving that you need to do to get through this phase of this phase of this cycle in your money or in your career. Okay, so that's just laying some groundwork here. Let's go ahead and pull these cards here, or rather flip these cards to really see specifically what it is. What is your situation and what is the advice for it? Eight of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, really wondering if you need to, I feel like maybe you're even wondering if you need to leave a job, if you need to just throw in the towel and move on from a position, from a role. The Venerable Man, this is the Hierophant. And look at that, the Eight of Cups. Wow, the Eight of Cups under the Eight of Cups. So big emphasis there. Three of Swords. Three of Pentacles. Let's move these over. And the Magician. Okay. Like the Ace of Wands, there's definitely, you're not powerless here. You do have agency and power to impact this situation, even if it feels like even if you've been feeling a bit like there's nothing you can do to improve it. I think your guides are saying otherwise. It's just going to be a bit tricky. It's like it's not going to be easily figured out just yet. The Emperor. So we have the Four of Cups and we have the Emperor. And now we have Oracle cards. This is the Iris Oracle deck, I believe. Yes. This is the Iris Oracle deck, number 66, Alchemy. Very cool. And the Visionary I Ching, the Well. Oh, yes, wonderful. Water above, wind below. Okay. Okay, I need to read this because this is so cool. You've got the Alchemy card here with the Magician and the Emperor and the Well too, which is a powerful card. It's a beautiful card speaking about our connection to Source and how the Well is a source of infinite power. That when we are aligned and devoted and dedicated to our highest the highest good, then it nourishes us and it feeds us and it supports our life in the most magical way. So here we have Alchemy, and the message in the guidebook is your hands have power to make gold, to create universal elixir, which also connects to the Well, right? An elixir. Have faith in your ability to perform transmutation. You can build the impossible. You can take anything, and by your touch, by your work, eliminate impurities and transform its appearance. You are magic. How wonderful is that? And this is really resonating with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords, and even the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man is about transcendence. It's a very spiritual card. It's a very spiritual message, because the Hanged Man is about how when we are faced with struggle and and difficulty that we cannot see a way out of, there is a possibility of transcending earthly reality and drawing upon our spiritual natures and drawing upon our inner magic to really see the situation in a completely new light, to have a completely different perspective. And so the limitations that we do encounter in real life are often spiritual lessons. So I think that what is going on for you within your money and your career situation, it is probably bringing up a lot of difficulties in the mundane sense, right? Like in the practical sense, like perhaps, if it's money, like perhaps you have been feeling like you're not making enough, right? 8 of Cups, you're wondering like if this job or if the income you have, like if you can keep sustaining it, if you need to just throw in the towel and give up and move on. Because I am seeing a situation here that has been really taxing you. I mean, maybe even literally taxing you, honestly. Like we have the Hierophant with the Nine of Pentacles. Perhaps you had a lot of, perhaps you have a business that had a lot of income last year, sales last year, and you know, and now you're reeling from a tax bill that you did not anticipate was going to be as high. Like it could be like that, right? Where you feel like a bit defeated, like, wow, I worked so hard and now this is gonna be taken from me, and you know, for what? Like there's just a bit of that feeling of, you know, again, helplessness or just defeatism that I'm getting from some of these, from this combination of cards here. 3 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles. So, you know, there's really a light and shadow combo in this reading here, where you are dealing with something that is quite shadowy. You're dealing with questions that, you know, you cannot easily solve or resolve right now. All you can really do is sort of kind of hunker down, you know, is what I'm getting, like hunker down and really prioritize what is it you need for your well-being, not for other people's well-being, but your well-being, because you have to operate from a core of strength. And right now I feel like your guides are telling you that your core has been a bit shaken lately with some disappointments. The Emperor is here. I mean, there's so many cards. There are multiple cards here that are really pointing to strength. It's, again, light and shadow. It's a bit of this contrast of the thing that is draining you, but also the power to really have those boundaries and assert your own power and assert yourself here. So we have the Emperor. But what's interesting is that the Emperor is definitely having an emotional struggle here. So I feel like you yourself are experiencing a moment of doubt, but also some pride, you know, some kind of control issue maybe, where, you know, maybe you've built something yourself and you have an emotional attachment to it, but the other side of you is seeing that, well, you know, in order for me to really make this work, I do have to give up this thing that I'm very personally invested in. So, you know, I'm seeing here a struggle where you have to maybe grieve or mourn something that is disappointing. So here's the message from your guides, and here's the advice. It's precisely the disappointment that you have experienced recently, or that you're now going through. It is precisely that disappointment that is going to be key to your future success. The Magician, Alchemy, and the Well. You are going to take these, you know, quote unquote broken pieces. You're going to take any setback, failure, or disappointment you have right now and transmute that into a beautiful new beginning. You've got the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Magician. With the Hanged Man, this new beginning is going to be so unique, so different from what is the norm, that, oh wow, my hand just moved the well. It's going to be so pure, actually. It's going to, so again, when I read the Alchemy, right, it's about removing impurities. And with the well, it really resonated with the well, because the image of the well is that when you have a strong connection to the divine or to source, it is pure. And the stronger that connection, the less interference, or the less muddied the waters of your spirituality, of your feelings, of your thinking, your clarity. That clarity that you gain from the spiritual insights that you are now, you know, I want to say earning. You're earning these insights just by virtue of your hard work and your persistence and your diligence. I'm really seeing that with the Emperor and 3 of Pentacles. So it's like you are taking something and you are going to make something wonderful from it. Right now you're in this position where you cannot change everything you want to change just yet, and you can't act on everything you want to act upon. There are some things you just have to let them stall or slide for a bit. That's just out of your control. And I am saying that because the Hierophant, I feel like, is this other presence or this other situation that is kind of coming in and making up these rules, or enforcing rules, or enforcing a conventional way of being. And, you know, it's arbitrary, but we cannot really ignore those things. You know, we have to deal, we still have lives of limitations where we have to work within limits sometimes, and sometimes we cannot operate outside those limitations. But however, you know, you are showing up as someone with so much that you've accomplished up until this moment, that not everything is lost. It's not like you have to start from scratch or start from completely brand new beginning. This is really just something that, you know, this is one of those lessons where you just got to roll with the punches, right? And I'm sure you've done that before. Sometimes it just gets hard to do it. Sometimes it's just hard to do it because it's like, but why? It's like, we don't see any reason why we have to, you know, have unnecessary challenges or difficulties that, you know, we didn't bring upon ourselves. It's just the situation itself is a bit chaotic, or it's like, as they say, like foobar, right? But yeah, that's just what it is. You know, your guides, if there is definitely something going on, that the best you can do with a situation is to guard yourself, protect yourself, get those boundaries up, and really make choices that take into account your own well-being, especially your emotional well-being. You know, like this Three of Swords is right here, and it is next to the Three of Pentacles. So you could have had a colleague or a work situation where, you know, a group or a colleague, a collaborator, maybe someone has disappointed you, maybe someone has even been quite hurtful, or, you know, just hurtful towards you, or negative, or you maybe feel betrayed by them. You know, there's definitely something here that has touched upon a sensitivity in you. So, you know, that shouldn't be ignored. However, I am seeing here that you are just someone who has such groundedness about you that, you know, even when you hurt, you don't let it get the best of you, or the project, or whatever needs to be done. You really can compartmentalize your personal hurt in order to serve the bigger good, in order to accomplish the bigger goals. So, you know, if that's something that, you know, that's something your guides want to also show you, if you cannot see that about yourself, is that you are incredibly strong, and you have, you know, real leadership power, leadership potential here, and it's just being tested now. You know, it's just being tested. So that was your message, pile one. I hope this was helpful to you. Let me actually, I know I left this space here for a reason, so let me just pull a few more cards to see what other advice I can give you for now. Yeah, it wants to be this deck. Okay. Can I get specific advice before I end this reading? Wow, the Chariot. That's awesome. Any other cards? Oh, okay. What? Strength? Really? The next major arcana card is what you got. Eight of Swords. Okay. There we go. So I do see that. I do feel like this is connecting to the cards above it. So we have the Chariot, the Strength, and the Eight of Swords. And the Chariot is, as advice is, you know, it's definitely like keep going, don't give up. You just have to, whatever forces you're dealing with, you just have to, you know, have a certain balance that allows you to use what you have at your disposal, to use your resources for that forward momentum. So, you know, you may need to, it may feel like you're having trouble just being stable, or stabilizing some kind of, oh my gosh, let me get my thoughts in order here. I'm distracted by this tiny little gnat. Okay, so as advice, you know, the Chariot is just saying, like, definitely keep going, don't give up. you need to keep your eye on the ball, and don't be distracted by something that really is not a big deal, or don't get distracted. Don't lose your focus. The Strength card, and right here under the Ace of Wands. So you have a lot of, you're powerful. You have capacity here. The Strength card is, also this message of advice that there may be something that you just need to strengthen. You may need to just take some time to nurture or practice, or I'm getting here training. Maybe you need to even train some aspect of what you're doing so that you just strengthen it, strengthen that skill, increase the capacity, or strengthen the skill. Okay, so that's also advice. Eight of Swords here with the Ace of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is simply the advice that it's often our own mental limitations that keep us stuck. So you are just being gently reminded that not all of your thoughts are productive. Sometimes you might be overthinking a situation. You might be thinking that you yourself cannot do something for whatever reason, but there is a solution. There is a creative solution if you just can step outside the box a bit and not get hung up on the right or the wrong way of doing something. Just let your mind kind of free flow, experiment, and do some brainstorming that's unconventional. So this might even be like if you normally work in a way, in a specific environment, like maybe you normally work from home, or maybe you normally work from that office. Like this could even be like changing up that environment. It's going to change the way you think about the problem. So try something new, try an experiment, change something up. But you have powerful supportive energy here with the Chariot and the Strength cards. So again, this Hangman situation, whatever is stalling you, it is temporary. You are just going, this is just a temporary setback, and you're going to take this and you're going to end up making so much great stuff out of this, whatever this disappointment is. You're going to take that disappointment and transmute it into something powerful and brilliant and amazing. So that's your message today, pile one. Good luck to you on whatever this is you're trying to, that you're working on. I think you are going to do great things, and you have a bright future with it. Okay? Take care, pile one. Hello, pile two. This is your reading. You selected the Oracle card, Emotions, which has a jellyfish here. Beautiful illustration there. As well as this crystal, this stone, kind of reddish brown in color, very earthy, very grounded. I'm also getting a sense that with this card, it is kind of holding some shadowy, dark thoughts here. And I think that your reading is definitely going to help you suss out what are the feelings, what are some stuck feelings that might be preventing you from getting the money, a career, or success in life that you're seeking. Okay, so already we're off to quite an I would say a psychological start here with this Emotions card. Okay, so I've pre-shuffled some cards for you, but I am going to start with this tarot deck, the Apparition tarot deck, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love these illustrations. So let's go ahead and pull some cards to get insights from your guides. Advice, any messages, any advice about your situation with money and career and even life in general. Okay, we have 3 cards. The 7 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the 7 of Swords. So I think that the first message here is, sorry, let me just move these over. I'm actually picking up that you may be feeling guilty lately. You may be feeling guilty because of maybe a way something ended for you, maybe a relationship that went sour. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a relationship with a friend or a family member that it's not sitting right with you the way it ended, or maybe a recent interaction, like some kind of recent conflict. That's what I'm getting here so far. If that doesn't resonate with you, then feel free to stick around. Let's see what else is going on here. But that's quite a specific message that might be just for a couple of people watching this right now. The other thing I can get from this is just like a sense of defensiveness and really a bit of sadness, because you feel like it's in your right to defend yourself when someone is harming you or hurting you, even if it's unintentional. You have every right to remove yourself from the situation or to push back. Like the Seven of Wands, I do feel like whatever you did to defend yourself was totally warranted and valid, and it's important that we that we protect ourselves and that we mind our boundaries and we assert our boundaries. So I do think that whatever you experienced was definitely needed. I just think that with the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Swords, you might be having second thoughts about it. You might be feeling like, oh, was I overreacting? And I don't see that. I think that you're kind of being a little hard on yourself here, okay? So that's the first message, is definitely don't be hard on yourself if you had to do something that, was maybe unpleasant or confrontational in order to protect yourself or assert your boundaries, okay? That's the first message. Let's keep going and see what else we have here. Three of Swords. Wow. So, just like pile one, you're actually getting Eight of Cups, Three of Swords. You're getting some cards here if you want to take a look at pile one. Ace of Pentacles. Lovely. Very healing energy there with the Ace of Pentacles. I was just saying, like, with pile one, we also had the Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups, and we did have quite an emotional energy there too. So, this is probably very collective energy right now, where people are feeling like, some disappointment from something that happened recently, and we're all sort of regathering or reconvening and kind of having to get back in touch with our core truths, our core desires, to really figure out how to move forward, how to proceed, in the midst of something that's been kind of confusing or debilitating, some kind of setback here, okay? Four of Pentacles. Yeah, what was I saying about, really getting back to our core, kind of hunkering down and minding our boundaries. The Knave of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. Nope, I was wrong. It's the Page of Swords. But yeah, the Page of Swords is here. Someone who's spying is what I'm seeing there. The Nine of Swords. Oh, the Three of Swords again. Okay, so very sensitive issue coming up here. The Wheel of Fortune. I don't read reversals, just so you know. That's why I'm turning everything right side up. Let me move everything a little bit up. Just make sure everything's visible. Seven of Pentacles. The Five of Swords. And this Iris Oracle deck, I had two come out, so I'm reading these two together. Wow. We have Rainbow Transference and the All-Knower. Interesting. And then we also have the Visionary I Ching Oracle, hexagram 9, small influences, wind above, sky below. Okay, that's very helpful. Okay, pile 2. Very interesting message so far. Okay, so I want to start here with the Wheel of Fortune. I want to start with the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles, because what I'm seeing so far is that you have really been, you've been through the ringer, and you've been, you know, you've had to, I feel like you've had to stress a lot on behalf of other people. I feel like there's a lot of stress and anxiety here that you are holding on to, or you're processing. That's not just your own. I feel like you're really worried for other people. It's possible, for example, that you have a position of authority. Perhaps you own a business, perhaps you are a manager, and you have to make decisions that affect people's well-being and income. You know, it could be that. It could be a very stressful situation like that. If that's not resonating, then it could just be that, you know, your own, the people around you, your family members or your roommates, your friends, your colleagues. It could just be like, you know, you're around people who are under a lot of stress, and so I do think that stress is taking a toll on your health. I think you've selected the emotions card because you can sense within yourself that there's some kind of untenable situation in your health that's being impacted by this work stress or this career stress or this money stress. Okay, so that's the first message here. With the Wheel of Fortune, you know, the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Pentacles, this is a message from your guides, which is that change is inevitable. Life always has change, and unfortunately life has suffering that we cannot avoid. We cannot avoid all forms of suffering that we encounter, right? That we must endure, or the burdens that we must endure. We can't choose every burden we must endure. Some of these feel very unlucky, and it just feels wrong and unfair, and that's just something we don't have control over. The Wheel of Fortune with the Seven of Pentacles is saying that, you know, it's in the midst of this difficulty and this struggle and this suffering that you are guided and encouraged to remain steadfast and to find that footing, to find that source of inner strength and security. Because when the Wheel of Fortune turns, you know, it's really being centered that helps us deal with those changes, and it helps us roll with the punches. I feel like you've been trying to be optimistic for other people, and you've been trying to help them go through their own rough patches. But this is really a reflection to you now that you deserve that same attention. You deserve that same kind of support. You know, here's the Seven of Pentacles. Here's someone working really hard on something that is going to take time and effort. It's not going to give them a reward right away. But here with the Wheel of Fortune, there's so much available. There's a very big reward that is available here. But again, it means having a bit of faith here. It means having some faith in doing the work that you're doing. You know, I'm also getting the sense that you could be doing work that is emotional in nature, because you have to either be a therapist or a counselor or a social worker, maybe some kind of healthcare worker, someone who is actually confronted with raw grief, raw human emotions. And it could be that, you know, this is why the Three of Swords is showing up so much, is that, you know, that is taking a toll on you. It's taking a toll on your heart to constantly kind of be you know, bearing witness or processing these very raw, very painful emotions. So with the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, again, it's like what you can do is to help ground that and help you, just help you, what is the word I'm looking for? You know, help you remain steadfast, help you keep the grind going. That's what I'm hearing. Help you keep grinding. One way you can really, perhaps the perspective you can have on this is that, again, you know, there's some things that are just out of our control, and that we just have to find our center and persevere. Some things just require perseverance. Now we have the Five of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords. We've got all these swords here, but we have actions and potential for success here as well. The swords, again, the reason why I say we have all these swords is we have a lot of, you know, thoughts and stress and just, you know, kind of even rumination is what I'm getting here. But with the Page of Swords and with the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, you also have very solid progress and a solid lesson and a stability that is available here. This, I'm wondering if maybe you have been able to get training at work, or if you've been able to pick up a new skill at work, because I do think that the skills that are available here is going to help you deal with the stress or the pressure that you're under. So if you do come across some kind of free training at work, or if someone, you know, mentions like even an article or a book, like something you're reading, something you can just, or a video you can watch, definitely go in that direction and take that opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles is showing up as an opportunity, not just for money, but even just stability, well-being, health, you know, good health. So seize those opportunities. If you see an opening for that, take that opportunity. Four of Pentacles, I do think someone else's energy is coming through here. I do think there's going to be someone who's showing up kind of as a mentor, or someone you just really respect, because they seem to have a very solid, grounded sense of self, and they're just very mature. They're very kind of no nonsense. You know, they're not wishy-washy. They're very no nonsense and consistent. And so I do think they're showing up as being a helpful support, helpful guide here in whatever it is you're dealing with. Like perhaps they can be, even just be a role model, some kind of way of working for you. Okay, so that's another message I'm getting. Now, I have these oracle cards, and I think there's, this is really the crux of the issue, and what your guides want to tell you today with regards to money, career, success, life. You have a gift. You absolutely have a gift. I don't know what it is you do specifically. I did mention a few jobs, like perhaps that deal with healthcare or counseling or therapy. I did mention that, but you know, this can be anything. You have a gift, and you know, your gift is really in being able to tune into others and identify in them what is special and unique about them, and why they are special, and why they're, you know, why they deserve to be treated well, why they deserve respect. I'm even getting here like domestic violence survivors, or people who have been harmed, people who have been you know, whose confidence even has been really taken a big hit because of some kind of suffering they've experienced. Again, this is, you know, harm, suffering. This is not something people deserve. This is just what life can hand to us. You know, life can be cruel. Life can feel very cruel and unfair at times. And you, with this rainbow transference card and the all-knower, which has a high priestess energy, you have a unique gift. And again, this is probably why you're struggling right now, because I think people are drawn to you for this reason. So your guides just want you to know, like, you have a gift that deserves to be, you deserve to feel safe, you deserve to feel protected and cared for and loved, because your gift, you know, is needs you, right? Your gift needs you. Your gift needs you to be healthy and to feel whole and to be happy. And, you know, you're not meant to just have a gift that makes you suffer, right? Like, our gifts are with us, are given to us, because this whole lifetime is going to allow us to explore and learn more about that gift and to develop that gift. So I think that your guides really want you to know, if you know, because maybe you've been doubting yourself, or maybe you've just been quite hard on yourself, that, you know, you are special and you make other people feel special. So don't forget this. The small influences message here is that, you know, sometimes we just cannot, there's a lot that might be out of our control, but it's just temporary. So sometimes we feel helpless and we feel like something's out of our control, and then we sort of give up, or we kind of let it, absolve ourselves of it in a way. But you can't absolve yourself of something here that you're facing. If you can do even the littlest thing to help this situation. So, you know, again, I'm picking up, maybe you're dealing with people who have been harmed, who have been, you know, who are suffering an injustice. If you can do even the littlest thing to help them, your guides are asking you to do that. Your guides are encouraging you to do that. Small influences. Sometimes it is the most seemingly insignificant thing that actually has a huge impact, a huge, like a domino effect impact, right? So small influences, sometimes we just need to pay attention to those little things. If we are losing a big battle that, you know, that we've been putting so much effort and energy into, and it's kind of like making us feel cynical, or making us feel despair, that's a sign. When you feel that despair, that's a sign that you might need to just take your focus and make it smaller, and really focus on something smaller that you do have control over, that you can see that benefit immediately, you know. So again, small influences, it could be, you know, maybe that you work closely with someone and you guys work so hard together, and some days it's like you just want to rip each other apart and you want to fight with each other. But the small influence there is like, maybe one day you can buy that person a coffee, or, you know, like just doing a small thing to show like, hey, we are in this together. Like, you're not alone. You know, we're gonna, no matter how much we fight, we're still in this together. And that's like a small sign of solidarity, right? So that's just an example. But overall, you know, I do think like you've been quite hard on yourself. If you've had to, you know, if you had some kind of outburst, or you like had some kind of confrontation or conflict because your boundaries were being crossed, or you were being taken advantage of, your guides want you to know that was completely warranted. Don't be hard on yourself for doing something that you just needed to do to get your needs met. And your guides want you to know that you have a special gift here. And, you know, sometimes that gift, you just need to turn attention towards yourself to remind yourself that, like, you're here for a reason. And, you know, you can endure in the long term, you can endure certain things, because you know overall that what you're doing is very important, very special here on earth in this lifetime. Okay, so don't lose faith in yourself, and don't believe if you're getting these doubts, these negative thoughts, like don't believe them. They're just the inevitable signs of stress. You know, it's just a sign that you've been under some stress lately, or you've been dealing with other people's stress. Okay, so this message is not saying that you're going to win the lottery and you're going to be very wealthy very soon. So I'm sorry if this is not the money and career message you were hoping to get. But if everything has resonated with you so far, then, you know, this is really about your well-being, and just being able to do that job you have, being able to do it well, and being able to sustain the work, you know, and this reminder that you have your own feelings that need to be processed, your own emotions, your own stuck feelings that maybe you've been ignoring because you felt like, you know, you had to, right? You had to compartmentalize feelings. So your guides just want to show you that what you know, everything is temporary. There's always a change, and there's always, you know, something to look forward to. So if you know, if you can just regroup, you know, do whatever you can to give yourself some tenderness, some care. I think it is going to help you regain that sense of optimism that you've had before, okay? So that's the message here for you, Pile 2. Best of luck with what it is you're doing. I can see that, you know, you carry a lot, you do a lot, and you deserve gratitude. You deserve appreciation from, you know, everyone you've been helping. So if you haven't been hearing that lately, hear it from this reading, okay? Hear it now. You are appreciated. You are important. You do amazing, great work. Okay, Pile 2, take care. Thanks for joining today. Hello, Pile 3. This is your reading today on money, career, life, and success. Those are the 4 keywords I'm using for today. Thank you for joining me. Wow, I just got a synchronicity. One moment, I just have to pause real quick. Hi. Okay, that was really interesting. I noticed in my room where I have an icon of a Black Madonna here with the you know, Virgin Mary holding the baby Jesus. I just noticed in his hand what looks like a box, but is actually a book, the same color as this card and, you know, this stone. And it is interesting that when I pulled the card, it also matched the color of this stone. I didn't do this, this was not planned, the matching of the colors. So I feel like dark green here is really important for this reading today. The painting that I'm thinking of, the artwork that I'm thinking of, which is a religious icon from Poland, the baby Jesus is holding in his left hand a book of Gospels. And when I looked up the term of this style of religious icon, it translates to "she who points the way." So it's about how Mary points to Christ as salvation, and Christ then points to the viewer with his blessing. So just something swirling in my head there. We'll see though if that connects to this message for you. I also wanted to say when I got to this reading, it was like a welcome relief, because the first 2 piles were quite heavy. You know, there was some emotional heaviness and even like residual energy. I feel like people are really starting to notice that we're carrying energies from other people, like it's kind of all been accruing. I feel like there's also a collective energy of, you know, having a bit of exhaustion from dealing with a recent crisis or a recent drama, and, you know, trying to regain some footing here. It's almost like we felt the early spring in you know, when we felt the change of spring, it's almost like we had all this excitement and optimism and energy, and then when we used it to actually tackle a project or to get something done, we're now in that middle phase of being like, oh my gosh, that was actually more exhausting than I thought it would be, and, you know, just needing to regroup and regain our perspective, and you know, that kind of reset that's needed, right? I'm getting a sense of collective frustration, you know, yearning for that. So when I now come to this emptiness card, it is quite wonderful to just have this reminder that we can empty ourselves of our thoughts, of our feelings. You know, we can choose on any given day to reflect or to just meditate and to let everything be released, whatever has to be released, and return to source. I'm setting the intention now to do that. And it's also the importance of emptying ourselves every once in a while, because that's the only way we can be receptive, right? We can't take in new information, or, you know, we can't process our feelings if we just are too stuck or too rigid. If we don't allow ourselves to release thoughts, energies, desires, wishes, you know, etc. So I have I have your pile picked out already. I've pre-shuffled for the pile, but I am going to start with this deck, which is the Apparition Tarot deck. I absolutely love this deck so far. And you know, I've only been using it collectively so far, but I really love the imagery and just even the feel of the cards in my hands. So, oh, okay, we'll have 4 cards. Normally I was picking 3, but we have 4 cards for you to start with. And again, this is about money, career, life, success. Those are the 4 keywords. We'll see what advice shows up for you from your guides, and just any messages that you need to get right now from your guides. I'm going to go ahead and scoot this over. Wow, 8 of Cups. This came up in both piles, but this particular card of 8 of Cups came up in pile 2. Wonderful. We have the Star. What a lovely depiction, too. 6 of Wands. Seeing here applause. Praise and applause. And we have the Devil. Okay. Very sensual version of the Devil. Also getting a depiction of a prison here, like a jail cell. And skeletons keeping these people kind of stuck or enmeshed. Okay, let's see. So I am feeling like this emptiness card is showing up positively because you have already done a lot of releasing. You've been able to overcome a very toxic situation. Oh, come on, little buddy. Over here. I don't know if you saw that. There's a little, tiny little fly or gnat in my room here. It's distracting me. Which is, I think, what we've all been dealing with. We've all been dealing with distractions and just like things, challenges that, you know, problems that have to be solved, challenges that have to be endured or overcome that we're sort of resentful of, because it's like taking energy from the things we really want to do, those wishes, what we want to manifest in our lives, you know, our ideals. So with the 8 of Cups here, this is definitely what I was talking about earlier with, you know, needing to regroup, needing to reset, because we're noticing that we're feeling quite exhausted, particularly emotionally exhausted, just wondering, you know, what else is out there? What is it that we have to do, because we can't keep up doing or staying invested in something that is not giving back or not fulfilling us the way we need to be fulfilled. You have done something recently to help yourself. Perhaps you've even gotten some guidance to overcome this situation. Guidance from your guides, intuition. You followed your intuition. But I am seeing this Devil card as being in your past. I'm not seeing it as being a present situation. I feel like you've overcome this Devil toxic situation here. Okay, so with regards to money, career, life success, perhaps you've overcome an addiction, perhaps you're in recovery from an addiction or from some kind of compulsive behavior, like compulsive spending, compulsive gambling, compulsive eating, even something that just was not healthy for you. okay? And you were able to make a difficult choice because you could detect within yourself that this situation was just spiritually emptying you. Okay, so let's get to it. What else do we have for you, pile 3? Temperance. Beautiful. Again, the healing theme. Recovery and healing. Wow, the star. Amazing. I'm so happy for you, pile 3. The Hierophant. Okay, interesting. I feel like maybe there's some kind of program or lesson or teaching that has been helping you get through some difficult times. The Hermit, yes, very much so. You've had to do something difficult that probably felt like you had to do it all on your own, mostly all on your own, even though you've had some wisdom and guidance, or a prescription, right? Like some kind of, perhaps even a medical program, some kind of expert program. You've had that support, or you've relied on that as a guide, but I am feeling like you've been doing something very much on your own here that you're now going to really experience the benefit from. Let me just make sure this is visible to you. This is the Four of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Going to bring these cards here. This is the Six of Swords. Another healing card. The Moon. I don't know why I'm laying the cards out this way, but I'm just going with it. And the Four of Pentacles again. So this is a repeat card. The Four of Pentacles has shown up, I think, in pile 1, but this could be collective energy. Calm within transformation. Such a lovely card. I pulled this recently for myself, so I actually, I'm quite familiar with this now, but really beautiful oracle card there. And last but not least, nourishment. Wow. Hexagram 27, mountain above, thunder below. So for sure, you have some kind of healing, some kind of recovery in this message. And because I did set the intention to talk about money, career, and success, I do think that you are recovering from a behavior or maybe a relationship, but some kind of situation that was really preventing you from moving forward in your life, moving forward at work, in your career, moving towards your goals. You have finally done this work. I feel like you've taken steps towards this towards recovering, and you're now reaching a new baseline. The Four of Pentacles showing up twice. Sorry, this is distracting me. I want this. Let's do this. There we go. That feels better. The Four of Pentacles showing up twice is like emphasizing a foundation here. So in terms of advice, I'm not really getting so much advice. It's just a confirmation here that, you know, you're going in the right direction, that you are manifesting some really beautiful, peaceful, you know, restorative phase in your life. This next phase is really going to give you the chance to even lay down some roots, is what I'm hearing. Because with this Hermit, with the tree, I feel like you're finally able to get nourished at the roots of your soul. Like perhaps you were, because you had some kind of toxic situation or some kind of toxic, you know, even personality issue, perhaps because of this toxicity in your life, everything else that had been going on in your life, like the way you supported yourself or the way you handled your finances, everything was really suffering. But now that you have addressed a root issue, and you were doing some really great healing work from the inside out, spiritual healing work, emotional healing work, you know, even physical, I'm sure it's having a great impact on your physical well-being as well. Now that that is has started up for you, and you're reaching this new kind of normal, and you have actually a better understanding of what is normal, or what is necessary, what your true baseline is, wonderful things are going to open up for you. It's going to feel very magical, actually. That's really lovely, and I'm really happy for you, pile 3. Sorry for the noise if you hear a train going by, but you know, the emptiness here is really about finally being able to be free of some toxic feelings, some toxic guilt. And I mean, I don't know, that word came to me, toxic guilt, maybe survivor's guilt, you know, like emptiness is this inner peace that we each have our own lives, and you are now facing your own life. You're facing your own path. Perhaps you couldn't face it, and therefore, you know, you picked up some bad habits to distract yourself from your path. But now that you really face your path, you face who you are, you accept who you are, there is a wonderful, beautiful, transformative process that you've been in now. So when it comes to money, career, life, and success, I do think that there is going to be something quite magical showing up for you here. I see it with the Page of Wands. I don't think you're aware of this yet. I think it's going to be quite a surprise for you. But I think that you're going to get a new adventure, in a sense. You're going to get a new passion or a new curiosity that is going to really be the guide for you. You know, with the Moon card here, there's still a lot of uncertainty in your life. I think you're still sort of collecting yourself. You're still settling down into a routine. You're still figuring out how to get your needs met. That's also what I'm picking up. There's sort of a winding path here, right? Like, you're learning from your mistakes still. You're learning as you go. That's what I'm trying to say. You're learning as you go. But you've done a really big, you've accomplished something really big, and you may not realize how much great work you've done yet, because you're still sort of fresh from that struggle. But I do think that your guides want you to know that you are doing great, and you know, just keep going, keep following these steps that you're following, keep following the advice that you're following, whatever guidance you've gotten from, you know, an expert or a teaching or an organization. Like, there's some kind of structured lesson that has been really helping you approach your particular struggle. And you know, even though you felt like you've had to go it alone a lot, you're not alone. You know, you're not alone, because your guides are definitely here. They want you to know that. So, wow, this is like a really big message. I feel like it transcends like money, career, and stuff. But I think it's just because we cannot earn, and you know, it's hard to go out into the world and earn a living if we don't know our own worth, or if we devalue ourselves. So I do think that what's opening up for you is that you really are starting to value yourself, value your own well-being, even at the most root level, like to value, you know, your hunger. Like, if you don't have enough food to eat, like, you deserve to feed yourself. Do what you need to do to survive. Do what you need to do to put food on the table, right? Like, you deserve to be comfortable, to have security in life, to be well fed, to not have to live paycheck to paycheck. You deserve a comfortable, good, safe, secure life. And so I think up until this point, you know, you struggled with even feeling like you were worthy, but no, you are worthy. You didn't, you know, you are transforming into a new phase of your life where what is now going to be in your life is going to be very meaningful, and not just another burden, not just another struggle. You're going to have a lot more say in kind of like how you fill your box. Like if you imagine that we all have our own special box that we put our special things in, right? Our lives start out as a box, and then we put things in it that are meaningful to us. So you didn't start with an empty box. You started with a box full of crap. I'm sorry to put it that way, but this is how a lot of us start. We start with we're born into family systems that are toxic, or, you know, life circumstances that, you know, whatever struggles we have, a lot of us are born with a box that has a lot of crap in it. And then we have to empty that box out and really understand what is the shape of this box? Like who are we really, right? Like who even are we? Because we had to start life with such a skewed perspective of who we are and what our needs are. But now you're really figuring that out, and you're progressing a lot on that front to figure out what your needs are and what it is that will keep you on your path, you know. I would like to know some specific advice, even just like very ordinary, mundane advice for pile 3. What's something they should look out for? What's something they should know at this time? Okay, the Prince of Cups, the Knight of Cups. There's either someone in your circle, or this could be you, who's a Knight of Cups type of person. Very sweet and caring, but also a bit of a dreamer, a bit of has a very rich imagination. Creative, artistic. Okay, Page of Wands again. So, this is a message from your guides. If you're kind of like, wow, where do I go? Where do I start? I don't know what to do. I'm feeling great, but I just don't even know what direction to go in. If that's where you are right now, then your guides want you to know that you have a lot of wonderful ideas. You are an idea generator. And with the Prince of Cups, this Knight of Cups, I think they're encouraging you to just be a little bit more open about this side of yourself, like a whimsical side of yourself. Perhaps perhaps you're a bit poker face. You have a bit of a poker face with people, and you don't normally wear your heart on your sleeve. So I think your guides are just encouraging you to, to go ahead and be a bit vulnerable around the people that you feel good, who make you feel good. If they're people who have a great energy about them, and they make you feel positive, and they, they're just very encouraging and optimistic. If there are people in your life right now who boost your energy levels, you can show them this more sensitive side of yourself. You can be a bit more vulnerable around them, and be more imaginative, and even just, I feel like there's some stuff that you do in your free time that you don't really talk about with the people. It could be a video game. It could be even, I don't know why I'm getting something kind of nerdy, but it could be something like that, some hobby that you just don't normally talk about because you're no, I don't want people to know this. You're kind of ashamed or embarrassed about it, but be yourself, I think that your ability to just make new friends is going to be key here. And this is just encouragement that if you've had to let go of some people, there are new people coming into your life. There are wonderful new people who are going to show up and be really positive influences, positive energies. Maybe you've even had to do something if there is this hobby, maybe you've had to do it alone for a while, it was part of your recovery process, or was just something that helped ground you. I think that you're going to find some company. I think that you're going to make a friend, or meet someone, or meet people even who are going to really, who are going to just provide some company here. And so that's what I would look out for, because there's opportunities, and whatever this new friendship is, or this new association, there are definitely some opportunities here for you to pursue. It's all in the very beginning stages. So your guides are just encouraging you to keep your eyes, your ears, and mouth. Eyes, ears, and heart. Stay open, stay receptive. With emptiness, that is definitely a key message. Staying receptive, and just having a sense of humor, being good humored. Like, we all have our on and off days. We have off days, we have bad days, and then the next day could be totally different. So trying to go with the flow more, trying to put a stopgap on any fears, any fearful thoughts, any anxious thoughts. Just remind yourself that you've come so far, and you're being assisted. You've been helped by the divine. You've been helped, you've been protected, and you're going to keep being protected and keep being guided. So with Temperance, the Star, and the Six of Swords, you're still on a very healing journey here. There's still much to come. So your guides just want to know that you can enjoy this process. It doesn't have to always be so serious, and you can have some levity. You can do some goofy thing or do some funny thing if that's just a temporary distraction. Like, sometimes that's what we need, is just like something to kind of break the monotony if something becomes too monotonous. But again, whatever you've overcome here, it's great that you did move on from the negative cycle, or the toxic behavior, or the the disorder. Whatever you've moved on from, whatever you've been healing from, it's just wonderful that you're doing this, and you've reached this next phase, this next chapter. So congratulations, pile 3. I hope this message was helpful for you, and thank you for joining today. I hope to see you at the next reading. Okay, take care, pile 3.